How's it going? How are you? Welcome back to another beach walk. Nice of you to join me. So what has Colin McRae got to do with forecasting and owning your numbers? Well, Colin McRae, rally driving legend, sadly died when he was 39, but he won the World Championship when he was 27 back in 1995. I was 20 years old back in 95 and a bit of a sports junkie with my brother. I remember watching Colin McRae. He was one of those sporting legends, and I guess to all forms of motorsport, a true legend. I remember an interview he gave where he was describing going through a forest, accelerating up through 80, 90 miles an hour, at a point where if he ever lost control of the car on a loose surface or for whatever reason, his instinct was to hit the accelerator. And I remember at the time thinking, isn't that the last thing you should be hitting? What do I know? But the reason he would hit the accelerator was the accelerator's connected to the wheels. Wheels drive the car, his Subaru Impreza four-wheel drive. In that moment of critical, holy, he wanted to be driving the car. So safest thing to do was to hit the accelerator, drive the wheels, get himself out of trouble. Hits the brake, bad things are going to happen. And it's stuck with me ever since. Now, I work with a lot of early stage companies over the past 12 years, and I've used this analogy because, I've got an FD hat on, slightly risk central, I would say, but businesses still need to be driven. And with the business owners that I work with, I'm just super keen that they always know what is driving their business, even in disruptive times. So COVID has affected so many of you. And even in the startup space, well, we're embracing this every day, I guess. So it's quite natural for businesses to feel when something goes wrong, do you brake? Well, you don't necessarily need to brake. You can hit the accelerator. You just need to know what's driving your business. In the same way that Colin McRae knew what was driving his car, the wheels. As a business owner, in your forecast, in the real world, you've got to have a real strong control and sense of what is driving your business. And if you know what those drivers are, they should be front and center of your forecast. But also, it'll help you get out of trouble. A classic example, I can picture 4 or 5 businesses I work with that have this issue, but just one of them, even today, has just told me by email that they know what is a profitable customer and they're going to do more of that. And they know what is a loss-making customer, and they're not going to do any of that. So it kind of shows you that in an instance of a business that has to find its feet and grow, it has a very clear view now of where the money is, and it needs to just get on with it. And it can drive its way through this disruption and do less of the other stuff. And that should make the business find its feet, find a solid foundation, get on and grow. Pretty clever stuff. So if you have a forecast classic space, if you have a forecast that's not telling you this, you need to find these drivers and you need to put them front and center of your forecast. If you have them in your forecast, you just need to be able to measure them and be confident that they do give you value. Because, COVID aside, startup spaces are going to have disruption. Always a growing pain, always something you need to embrace. Knowing what to drive can get you through this. Hitting the brakes, not going to do you much good. So from your experience, I'd love to hear real experiences if you can share, not just for me, I'd love to hear it anyway, but for other people, just to get a really strong sense of if you have made a change or if you have identified what the driver was, did you drive your way through a disruption and get your business going forward, or did you feel nervous about doing so and you felt that you were hitting the brakes and that impacted many things more than you were hoping for? Great to hear your comments as always. Thanks again for listening from a very calm Shanklin Beach. Have a nice evening. I'll speak to you next time.